Hello, everyone. This is Future Day here editing the podcast. I just had to say here, I made a mistake and I made it multiple times in this episode and also in the next episode, just as a heads up. I say we are back for season 5. We're actually back for season 6. That's how long it's been, y'all. That the brain, she ain't working no more. Okay. We're back for season 6. Yay. We're so excited. So every time you hear me say, yay, we're back for season 5, just know what I really mean is we're so excited to be back for season 6. Yeah, thank you for sticking it out with me. And without further ado, let's get into the actual episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to I Am Not Okay with Day. I am your host, Day. And if you're watching the video, you just saw me do all kind of weird things with my hands because, it's been so long. I don't even know what to do with my hands anymore. Y'all, I know. It's been a minute. It has been a year. Child, it's been a year. I don't know when this is going to come out. But at the time of this recording, we're still here in the month of December 2023, and I'm exhausted. If you're watching the video, you can see on my face the bags under my eyes are in full swing here. I am tired, and I am tired for many, many reasons. But we're here, y'all. We are back for season 5. I have been thinking about the podcast for months, really. And you all know by now, if you've been hanging with me at this point, that anytime I'm gone for a while, life is lifing. I'm having a very difficult time. And I'm going to be real, y'all. I'm still having a hard time. I am not okay. And I really struggle with, okay, when I come back with a podcast, I want to, produce content, things that are not just me talking about my life and talking about all of my struggles, but other things. But that all requires mental energy and strength that, I'm going to be honest, I have been lacking over the past couple months. And so it's been difficult, but I've decided that, hey, the podcast is called I Am Not Okay with Day. Therefore, even though I am not okay, I'm going to come up here and we're going to talk about it because that's the point. So here I am, y'all. I kind of sort of have a plan in my head, but I don't really know where we're going to go. So we're just going to be here along the ride for the journey. But let's start with some type of way. Let's just jump right in. What have you feeling some type of way? I've been in a very dark place for months. But I'm going to say, honestly, this entire year has been really trash. This has been a hard year. 80% of this year, I feel like, has been garbage. Okay? The worst. Terrible. But yesterday was a really good day. Well, I'm not even say that, y'all. Yesterday in the evening, the evening portion was good. And that's because I went to the Pentatonix concert. If you know me, you know that I am a Pentatonix stan. Love them. And I was having a hard couple days, but going to the concert just uplifted my spirit. It gave me everything I needed. Okay, y'all, I was in there jamming, living my best life, thoroughly enjoying myself, so present. It was beautiful. They are so talented. And just music. Music has such a way of just filling my spirit when I need it. And so it was beautiful. I had a great time. And it had me feeling just a little ounce of joy in this Christmas season. Whereas outside of that, I haven't been feeling that joy. So let's talk about it, though. Let's just dive in, y'all. So last time I was here, I think by myself, think it was a pretty rough episode too. I think it was in a pretty dark place. And to be honest, we still there, y'all. What has changed? Not a lot. I'm going to be honest. I've been really having a hard time too, because my support system has been asking me recently, like, you know, what is going on? Like, what's happening? And the truth is, nothing in particular has happened, in that there's no like major event or like precipitating factor or something that is making me, that like has happened to me. And it's been hard to explain because of that, because there is the part of me that feels like I need to have a reason to feel this way, or to be struggling, that makes me like invalidate myself. But so the best way I can explain it, and I'm gonna do two things. Today we're gonna talk about feelings, feeling the feels. That's what we're calling this episode. But I need to explain a few things, I guess, like to set like the context maybe. So something about me, y'all, that really the closest people to me will know. I am really good at intellectualizing. And what that means is, like, you know, there are defense mechanisms, you know, the ones that everybody knows, like projecting, displacement, justification. My go-to defense mechanism is intellectualization. Intellectualizing. Is that right? Intellectualizing. Yes. My emotions. Meaning that I've spent so long disconnected from my actual emotions that my go-to is to intellectualize how I feel instead of like feel it. So I am pretty good with explaining what it is that I'm feeling and all the different things that are making me feel this way, instead of like feeling it. And so let's just set the stage there. So if you have been following me along, you know, obviously everything started here in this podcast with my divorce. And I started, I would say, like a self-healing journey before my divorce officially. Well, before divorce was even a thing. And then, you know, once my ex asked me for a divorce, then that became the forefront of everything. And so when I started therapy, you know, obviously I'm there to process my divorce and everything that happened. But I had such an interesting relationship with my emotions, which I'm sure a lot of us do. The way that my emotions and I were set up is we did not get along. And by get along, we were strangers, okay? The way I can think about my emotions and I from the past is like, you know, when you go to a place and you see the same people, maybe you see a person that's there. You don't know them, you know, you don't have any kind of relationship with them, but you see them around, like, you know of them, but you know nothing about them. Like at college, like we all went to college and we all, well, not we all, but the point is, like, most of us who went to college, it's a big campus. Like, there are many people there. We only probably talked to a few people, but there's always like some people that you see around all the time. You don't know them, but you see them. And I feel like that's how it's been with my emotions, where I see them. I don't know them though. So it's like I can walk right past them, you know, if I see them somewhere, maybe I don't make eye contact. It's like that. And I've been in this process of trying to get to know my feelings, trying to identify what they are, trying to respect them, trying to acknowledge them. And so it's been a journey, because I've been very resistant to it, because I honestly didn't know how to feel them. And I think a lot of us probably can relate to that, especially if you've been raised in a culture like mine. Like, like when you're young, you're crying and your parents are like, why are you crying? And don't cry. And like, it's just, there are certain things that are just not normalized in our society. And I was also the person who felt like, that's weak and I wanted to be strong. And I'm the strong person. And so I just had a really difficult time with my emotions. But here comes divorce. That is like the hardest thing I've ever been through in my entire life. And I am now faced with having to deal with everything that comes with that. And I can't even, because I can't even feel. I can't even let myself feel. I can't even identify what it is I am feeling. And so in my therapy process, I've been working on, feeling the feels and not judging myself for it. And so I am now currently in a place where I am less judgmental toward my feelings, but I haven't fully embraced them yet. But what's happening, and here's how I'm going to describe them. Right now, today, I feel like my emotions are like in-laws that you don't necessarily like, but you have to tolerate, because they're your in-laws, and they just show up at your house and you didn't ask them to come, and here they are, and you can't send them away, so they're just in there, and you want them to go, but you don't really have a choice because they're just here. I feel like this is where I'm at with my feelings right now. They're here. I can't control them. They're coming out. Oh, they are coming out. I am a balloon filled with water. At any moment, anything can stick it, pop, burst. Psh. That's where I'm at right now, you guys. And let me tell you, for someone who has been disconnected emotionally for years, to now get to a place where I don't even have a choice, really, where I'm feeling so many different things. Oh my gosh, y'all. I am struggling with that so much. It is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, because what is happening to me is I'm feeling the pain of today, and also the pain of a year ago and 2 years ago and 3 years ago and 4 and 5 and 6 and 8, 10 years ago. And that is overwhelming, to say the least. That's like an understatement, but there's no other word to say overwhelming. And so it is hard. I'm also working on processing some trauma, which makes it even more difficult. And I don't know what the balance is of, okay, process feelings, work through this, also be a human that's functioning and has to be an adult and get things done and has responsibilities, and also feel these feelings. It's just so much. I'm getting triggered left, right, and center, y'all. The month of December is a very difficult month for me for many reasons. Also, I realize the holiday season in general is also difficult, as I'm sure it is for most, but there's a heightened sense of loneliness, grief, sadness, even some hopelessness in there, and it's hard, you guys. I've been having headaches for the past couple weeks, and I know that they are related to stress because they started coming up once I started talking through certain things in therapy, and they have not gone away. And I've been trying to let myself feel more, and I have, y'all. Let me tell you that I've cried every single day for the past, I don't even know how long. And I'm not talking about just the little one tear. No, I've cried, wheezed. And for me, that is a lot, because I don't know if I had mentioned this. I think it was, I was talking about crying in one of the episodes, and I was talking about the fact that, I've never let myself break down. Like, I never do that. But, chow, I have not had the choice. It feels like it is happening, whether I like it or not. Okay, them in laws, them in law feelings, they are here. Whew. But I've been less resistant to them. I have been feeling them. I've been letting myself. And no part of that has been easy. And I feel very exhausted. I'm burnt out. I'm having a hard time taking care of myself because it all feels so intense and overwhelming, and it's hard. And I think one of the hardest parts is like I'm feeling a lot of emotions, I'm processing a lot of hard things, and I feel like I'm doing them alone. And I mean, a part of me, like, I do have to deal with them alone. Like, no one else is gonna heal for me. They can't. But I guess it enhances my sense of loneliness because of how intense I feel and how the fact that all of my closest friends and family are really far away, like I don't have anyone to sit in it with me physically and to comfort me when I'm like bawling my eyes out for the 10 millionth time, crying myself to sleep. Like, I should have brought my tissues. Why didn't I do that? Did I blame myself by not bringing my tissues close by here? It is hard. I have many battles in my head also. Like, okay, I feel sad, but I also have responsibilities. You know, I am a therapist. I have to be present for my clients. I also have responsibilities like at church, commitments I've made. I also want to be a good friend to my friends. I want to be a member of society. And I also want to not neglect myself because I've done that enough. But I don't know how when I'm experiencing emotions that I've never felt before and that I don't know how to handle. And it is so much. But you know, what I used to do in the past, because I never had the tools to deal with my emotions, is numb them by avoiding them completely, by distracting myself with all kinds of stuff. And as I started doing this, like in recent months, I felt so out of control with my emotions that I've been like, okay, well, I just need a distraction. Like, I just need something. And all of my old, like, tactics, all of my old ways of distracting myself are no longer working. And it's getting harder and harder to avoid my emotions. And there was one day in particular recently, I remember that I talked about something so hard in therapy. And I ended the session and I was just like, locking this up. I'm not coming back to this right now. Which is okay. Like in general, like that's okay to do, especially when you're working on really hard stuff. But for me personally, the idea of like opening the box, closing it, open, closing, it's an unhealthy, it's something I've told myself I had to do, like need to compartmentalize. But it's not really healthy for me is what I realized. Like it is actually detrimental because I never really come back to it in the past, and it just like builds into something greater, you know. And so here we are where I tried to do that, y'all, and it wasn't working, and I couldn't, to the point where I was feeling so depressed, and I didn't know why. And I remember like after like 4 days of feeling terrible, I went to my best friend and I was like, I just started talking about everything, crying, letting it out. And do you know what happened, y'all? I felt better. What do you know? Talking about it makes you feel better. Who knew? Oh my gosh. And so, yeah, like I really felt like it was going to be important for me today just to talk about the fact that we need to feel our feels, y'all. We have got to feel our feelings. Last week, I think I mentioned earlier about intellectualizing. Last week, I was in therapy, but my therapist had to call me out. My therapist had to call me out because she asked me, oh, not this fly coming in here disrespecting me right now. How rude. Yeah, my therapist came in. We were talking about something and she asked me, how I felt about it. And child, why was I there just explaining it in a way, intellectualizing? And she literally called me out and she's like, okay, but what is the emotion? And yeah, as soon as she asked me that, I wrote down immediately because I realized in that moment that I had not felt. And yeah, I've been doing this weird dance of like, okay, must not feel, need to compartmentalize, even though that's not what I'm doing. I'm just pushing it away. I'm avoiding. And it's catching up to me. It's too much. Can't do it. And so, yeah, I'm here now feeling all the feels. It's exhausting. I'm very sad. I'm very lonely. I am grieving a lot. I'm crying every day. I'm begging the Lord every day for comfort and peace. I'm not really feeling like I'm getting it. I'm going to be honest. It's been a very difficult journey, honestly, with my relationship with God, especially. We've been up and down because it feels like my prayers have gone unanswered for years. And I'm struggling. And that is okay, y'all. And that's really the point of this whole episode. I wanted to obviously catch y'all up on what's happening, which like that's happening. There's nothing like major, I'm still working through a lot of the things. What I've been doing recently is talking a lot about my divorce, a lot about my marriage, things that happened in the marriage that have really affected me. I realized I'm really traumatized, y'all. I didn't realize how traumatizing my marriage was to me. And coming to certain realizations is very difficult to face. And, it's coming with some judgment. And I think that's part of why feeling my emotions is even more difficult, because I have like internal judgment on myself because I feel a certain way and because of certain things that have happened, even though like it's totally normal. And a lot of things that I'm feeling shame about aren't even my fault, but there's just a lot there. But anyways, the point of all of this is I want y'all to know it is okay to not be okay. And it is okay to feel your feels, y'all. Your feelings are not the enemy. And I'm telling you this as someone who has been begging and pleading for God to take the pain away as recently as 2 days ago, because of just how intense and overwhelming it feels. Like I said, this is not fun. This is not easy. But I'm at this place right now because I haven't felt my emotions, because I haven't dealt with certain things. And I'm not blaming my past self for that, because I know that I didn't have the tools at the time to do so, to deal with it, to face it. And now I do, because I've gone through certain things. I'm older, I'm wiser, and I have grown, but it does not make the process any easier. And I'm saying this with faith that it will get better. I don't know. I mean, I'm not experiencing it right now, I'm going to be real, in the sense that I'm not better. December is a hard month. The holidays is a hard season. I am not okay, and I'm probably going to not be okay for a while. That is okay. But I'm trusting in the fact that going through this process and letting myself feel these things will help me in the long run. I mean, and truthfully, let me say that I have experienced thus far growth because of my willingness to go to certain emotional places and to challenge myself and to face certain things, and it has helped me. So there has been, I would say, some evidence to point to that, hey, like feeling your feelings can help you in the long run. So I have experienced that to an extent thus far. And I believe it will help me in the future also, like just continuing on this journey. And so this is my sign to you. This is my me to you telling you, don't run away from your feelings anymore. Face them. Look at them. Look at yourself in the mirror. You're not going to die. I know I felt like I just absolutely cannot. To this day, there are times, and I cry, pray, and I'm like, Lord, I can't do this anymore. But somehow we still here. I still do it some way, somehow. I don't know. And so what you think is going to kill you doesn't. It won't. Hold on. I've been trying to hold on myself. I've been holding on. And this is just from a fellow struggler to another. Hold on. Feel your feels. It's okay. You can handle them. You can handle this. And you're not alone. You are not alone. I know that for me especially, I've definitely felt some loneliness in this process, and it tricks me into thinking that I am actually alone, but I'm not. That is depression. Honestly, even the devil talking. You're not alone. So that's it, y'all. Here we are, first episode back. I hope to obviously continue. And I'm going to continue being real and coming to you as my most authentic self, whatever that looks like, because I am embracing my flaws and I'm just not trying to like present as like anything except what I actually am anymore, you know? So now let's move on to what God has taught me. Like I said, y'all, I have been having a hard time with the Lord. God and I, we've been going through it. We're still together, okay? We're making it work. We're committed to each other. We're not going to leave each other. But we're going through a rough patch right now. And, you know, there have been many moments when I feel like God is not there for me. And I've talked about this before, that sense of abandonment. And it still comes up from time to time. And there are times when I'm praying to the Lord, please take this pain away. I don't want to feel this anymore. And I still feel it. And in these moments, I feel like, God, like, you're not hearing me. Why are you not? Why, you know? But something I've noticed is that when I get into this place, sometimes I listen to music because it's the only thing that I can do. Like, I can't even get to a place where I can read the Bible. And I've been listening to these songs talking about God being with us. And I just start crying immediately because it's like recently I've literally felt, I know it's God. Every time I think, You've left me. You're not with me. Why am I doing this alone? It's like I almost hear him say, you're not alone. I'm here with you. I am here. And so I've been circling around the Bible, been working on my own personal study on God's character, because I felt like I need to really understand who he is. I feel like my understanding of him is not based on reality. And so that's what I've been focusing on. And I've been kind of all over the place, but where I've landed recently is in Exodus with Moses going to, when God calls him to go to get the people out of Israel. And what God tells Moses as he comes and he's like, Lord, I can't talk. I don't want to do this. He literally is like, God, send somebody else. He brings up all these different excuses. What God tells him is, I will be with you. And this seems to be a theme that comes up a lot. Like recently, like I hear God telling me, I am with you. I am with you. And I've been resisting it sometimes because I'm like, but how? How are you with me when all this bad stuff has been happening? Like, there's no way. But God has shown me time and time again through so many different things. Up until recently, I was driving, y'all, in the middle of the road, traffic, unmoving, my car shut off. I could not... My car shut off, first of all. It was traffic. We were stopped. So thankfully, no one ran into me because the traffic wasn't moving. Then it turns out on randomly and I can't press the brake and I keep like pressing. It's not pressing. And I literally cried to the Lord and I'm like, Jesus, help me. I need you. And I managed to press the brake, turn the car off, turn it back on. Everything is back to normal, y'all. Perfect. No problems. And this is just one small example of how the Lord has shown me amidst everything that he is with me. And so that's why we're still together, because I can't leave him, because he keeps showing me that he's there for me. He's with me. I'm not alone. And it is honestly the thing that's getting me through this whole thing. And that's what I want to remind y'all. I mean, I said it already, but I know it can feel so lonely and isolating, but you're not alone in this. Not just like with the people that you have for support, but God is with you. And even when you don't feel like he's there, he is there. He is there. And I'm a testament to the fact that he has been there for me, even when I can't see him working. My friend Al Wayne, y'all, we had him on the podcast. He has a song called I Am With You. Child, that song makes me cry every time. Okay. It really hits me. Because it's true, you know? And so if you are struggling, if the holidays are really hard for you, if this year has been trash for you, you're not alone. I'm there with you. But most importantly, God is too. So I hope you take that with you. I hope we all can move forward in this upcoming year with more confidence in knowing that God is with us. With that, y'all, this has concluded our first episode back of season 5. And I look forward to recording more of these, y'all, to be more consistent, to getting back out here. So I hope that you will see me then or hear me then too. Until next time, y'all. Bye.